Well, hello. Guess who's back so quickly? I know I didn't think I would be back so quickly either, but I told you guys if you ask questions and you engage, I will come back and I will talk. And so I'm committed to doing that. Right now, just uploading and creating content is just fun for me, just a way to be creative. Um, I'm not really thinking I'm going to maintain a schedule right now, but I do want to come back if y'all have questions. Because for those of you who have been there for been following and subscribing here, you know that my journey has been about sharing and inspiring and transparency and honesty and uplifting women in particular. So in the last video, my first video in 5 years, I recommended that I went through a divorce. I ended a 20+ year relationship. And I always feel somewhat odd talking about it 6 years later because although a divorce was a defining moment in my story, it's not the main storyline, right? I'm still the main character, and what I want to do and where I want to go is still unfolding. But obviously that traumatic incident, because the divorce is a trauma, happened to me for me to be able to share my story and hopefully inspire other people. So the question that I got is there was a person that was considering a split or a divorce. And I want to just leave you with 3 things I think you should consider before you divorce. These are my personal opinions. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a minister. I am not the authority on divorce. Everybody's situation is different. So do whatever is best for you. These are just taken from my experience of ending a 20+ year relationship and what I found to be helpful for me. So the first and I think most important is to consult God. Marriage is, I see it as a spiritual partnership. Even if two people aren't spiritual, there's still a spiritual frequency. There's a spiritual story. There's a journey that two people enter in together, right? And there's a reason for that, right? There's something to learn. There is a reason why God brings two people together, right? And so you wanna really seek God. For me, baby, when I tell you I did all the things, I did all the things. Praying, fasting, individual therapy, couple therapy, marital ministry, baby, every damn thing other than standing on my head, trying to figure it out. But at the end of the day, it takes two people that have to want the relationship and have to be willing to put the work in. And, as you know, when you get two people together, depending upon your attachment styles, your childhood, your own individual personal struggles, sometimes you have to end a relationship. And I could say a lot more just about that, but all of those things matter. So seek God, whatever your religious beliefs are, spend time with God, praying, talking to God, meditation. Spend time with God so he can guide and direct you on what you need to do. That's number one. Number two would be therapy. And anybody who knows me personally knows that I'm a big advocate of therapy. I did therapy all throughout my marriage, and I continue to do therapy because it helps me to know myself. It helps me to deal with, things I want now as a single woman, traumas that I went through, being a single parent, dating now. Therapy is a huge I recommend it for anyone. I think every person on the planet needs it, because it's not just for people that have dealt with traumas. It's like if you were a kid and you had a childhood and you've gone through things in adulthood, you need a safe space to unpack. So therapy, I would say, would be a big thing. And then a third thing would be just creating a relationship with yourself. I was raised very religious, right? And so because of that, I learned a lot about having a relationship with God, right? But no one ever taught me how to have a healthy relationship with myself. So, and that's important, learning who you are, learning about your family of origin, learning about your attachment style, learning about your emotional self, your mental self. These are all things that I had no idea. No one ever taught me these things. And so really spend time getting to know you. Therapy would be a big part of that. Journaling. If I had to add a bonus, number 4 would be journaling. Journaling can help you. My therapist calls journaling a cognitive intervention. So all of these things can be extremely helpful in helping you to decide if you want to split. And there's a lot of resources out there. One other resource I want to plug is one of my favorite podcasts is the R Spot, Iyanla Vanzant's podcast. And she actually does have an episode where she talks about planning the transition of leaving a marriage. And although I had already been divorced for a few years, I found it to be extremely helpful because sometimes when you're going through a divorce, sometimes there are times where you could just kind of pack up and leave. But for a lot of us that have kids and finances and things of that nature, you have to plan that transition. And that in itself could be very emotionally exhausting. So I hope this was helpful. I will, as I said, I will be back as long as you guys engage and ask questions and want content, whether that be beauty related or just, hey, I'm a grown woman doing my own thing. Questions, raising teenagers. I will come back if you guys ask questions and if I feel inspired to share. But thank you for your question. I hope this was helpful. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye. And y'all are so cute. They said the OG. Yep, I am the OG. I was on YouTube before it was even popular. So thank y'all. I appreciate that. That was really nice to read. All right, you guys, take care.